Okay, I'm recording. So it is our, as you guys know, Changing Tides team call. It is August 2nd, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Kind of late one, but I wanted to do this fresh off of Summit for a lot of reasons. I'm obviously really motivated, inspired, and excited coming off of that Summit trip. I want to share that energy with you as quickly as possible because the energy is contagious, and that's kind of what I experienced at Summit, was how contagious everyone's energy and positivity and emotions were, and it just made the whole experience extremely emotional for everybody. And so that's why I want to do this team call as quickly as possible so I can kind of rub some of that energy off of me and onto you. So some of my takeaways, the first thing I have written down here is that it was emotional. I just said that, but it's something that's really hard to explain to somebody that wasn't there, because a lot of the things I learned were new, but a lot of the things I learned, I had also learned before. I've known kind of how to use social media. I've known, that you have to be patient, that you have to stick with it. But some of the stuff that isn't just being taught in our seminars and lectures was really stuff that we just felt while we were there. Meeting all of these people we've been doing these calls with, Zoom calls and talking to on Facebook, everybody from like their profile photo, and then you see them in person and you're like, oh my God, and it's super weird. But it's also really, really exciting, and getting to meet all of these people that I've kind of been talking to, or at least like knew from their pictures or from Zoom calls on Facebook, was really cool. And then we were there for about 4 or 5 days, and we got to really build some really strong relationships just in those few days. I think it was so emotional because we forget how health and fitness is very personal to a lot of people. A lot of people have really deep-rooted stories about their health and fitness journey. And when you kind of bring all of those people together, all the people that are just passionate people, passionate about health and fitness and passionate about helping other people and changing lives, it really creates this very, very emotional situation with a lot of mostly women who are just kind of emotional beings anyway. And I just feel like we spent a lot of time crying, like happy crying, being excited and just feeling touched by everyone's stories and touched by everyone's business growth, people that came from absolutely nothing. The number, I think she's number 4 or 5, Bonnie Engel, coach in the company, she was in deep, deep debt. I mean, she had not paid her student loans, so they were in, what's it called? She was just in a lot of financial trouble. She was really struggling. She couldn't figure out her life and what she wanted to do. And now she's created this huge business on her own, with the help of her mentors. But just hearing these stories of people who did this on their own, and then these huge, huge health and fitness transformations that we were able to see, people getting recognized and winning awards and all kinds of winning cash, like all kinds of big things. Just a very emotional experience. It was a lot of self-reflection and reflecting on really what you want long-term in this business, and knowing that if you really do want that you can make it happen, but that you have to be consistent and be patient. And that was so important. I think you guys could probably tell I had a rough May, rough June, transition to a rough July. I kind of fell off track with my own health and fitness, I think, in a way. Even though I was still being active, I wasn't really like thinking about it as much as I should have been, putting as much focus on it. And then my business obviously also started to fail. I wasn't hitting Success Club. I wasn't doing the things I was doing every month to make my business grow. And I think I really just needed Summit to give me that energy again and remind me how great the company is that we work for. I don't think I ever realized how absolutely incredible this company was until I was there. It was just, I was blown away. We got to meet and hear from the CEO and all of the people who created Beachbody from nothing in their tiny little office in California. We also got to hear from the creator of Shakeology, which was really cool. He's like a total hippie, all organic kind of guy. I really enjoyed him. But we got to meet all these people that are behind the scenes that just kind of made the whole thing come together. So if you were on the Fit and Fierce team call last night, you were able to see how emotional our weekend was because Megan and Carrie both cried. And I think we all started crying just because they were crying, and just floods of emotions and just totally ridiculous, but it was incredible. Okay. My husband, if he were here, would just be laughing his ass off at me because he just thinks it's ridiculous, but that's all right. Okay. So I covered patience, emotions. Now the number one coach in the company, Melanie Mitro, she spoke. And I've always viewed her as being like a very quiet, kind of works behind the scenes, mild-mannered woman. She's a mom. She's very smart. She's built this unbelievable business. She's been number one in the company 2 years in a row now. But she came out on stage to speak, and she was fired up. It was fantastic, but she was fired up. And it was because she wanted people to understand. I think she was frustrated, and she wanted people to understand she was number one for a reason. She worked her tail off to be number one. Just to grow the business, she worked and worked and worked. She was saying the thing that she said, and this was kind of the underlying statement of her speech, was that she couldn't have done it a fingernail more. She could not possibly have worked any more hours or any harder than she did, and that's why she got to where she was. She said flat out, the reason I'm here and you're not is because I worked 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day. I worked. It didn't just come to her. People didn't just ask to sign up, and she didn't just build this big successful team because, she was lucky. She worked really, really hard for it. And so I think she was just trying to teach you, it is possible, but you need to want it and you need to work for it. Maybe your goal isn't to be a top 10 coach. I'm not sure my goal is to be a top 10 coach. I want a strong team. I want a strong network of coaches that all are very happy and healthy and love working together. And, if financial success comes with that, that's fantastic. I think we all need, financial success and freedom. But that it's so important that you know what your long-term goal is, so you know what you're working for. Number 4 I have here, takeaways, is just friendships and success partners. We heard a lot about how important having a success partner is. If you don't know what that is, a success partner is somebody that you pick, and you can have more than one, but a success partner is somebody that you pick to have alongside you through this journey, to kind of help you get through the tough times, maybe even help you run a team if you wanted to pair up with somebody and start your own team together. Megan and Carrie met at Summit 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, I think 3 years ago. And they met at Summit and they were like, hey, let's join teams. Let's do this together. And they've been success partners ever since. And they both attribute their success to one another, having each other to push them through the hard times, to help run a team that's that big, and to just be successful together. And so I'd like to encourage you to think about that and think about maybe who you would want your success partner to be. Maybe it's somebody that isn't even a coach yet, but that you hope will sign up as a coach with you. Maybe it's a good friend of yours. Maybe it's someone you haven't even met yet. So, no need to immediately jump the gun and pick somebody to be your success partner, but think about that. Think about somebody that you gel with, that shares the same passions and goals as you. And I think it's a fantastic idea to pair up and find a success partner. Number 5 is the transformation stories. If you haven't watched the live stream of the closing ceremony, it's 2 hours long. I'm not telling you to watch the whole thing. There's a lot of ridiculous puppet shows that I think you can totally skip over. But the transformation stories of the finalists for the Beachbody Challenge, I think there were 8 of them, were incredible. I mean, just unbelievable stories, unbelievable results, very inspiring, very emotional. I highly encourage you to go back and skip through that live stream and watch some of those transformation stories. They're why we do this, in my opinion. And I found that to be one of the best parts of the entire thing. Okay, Now, I also wanted to say, watching the videos I posted in the team page, I went live several times while I was there, and I also recorded some people speaking, like Sean T. His speech made no sense. Sean T is cool, and I think everyone was just excited that he was up there and that he's cool, and I think we were all just like, oh my God, woo! Oh yeah, take your shirt off, and we were just excited about that. But like, I listened back, and I listened to his entire speech over again on the way home, and I was like, what the heck is he talking about? He's talking about like cheating, and I don't even know, being in a glass house, and what a weird, you're laughing, or did you listen to the speech? That was the weirdest, dumbest speech I've ever heard. So if you don't want to listen to that, I don't blame you. Don't listen to it. But if I have, I'm going to look back and see what I shared. And if there are others that I haven't shared yet, I will share them, because the general session was once a day. And that's where like the big guest speakers came, and just their speeches were so incredible. And so if you get a chance, check out what I did share already on the Changing Tides page. You can kind of feel like you were at Summit with us, because I tried to record quite a bit so that you could really kind of almost be there and see what we were seeing. My last thing is register for Summit next year. I know that that's big and scary. I didn't go for like 2 years. And it's so hard for any of us to explain the value behind it without you actually being there. So all I can say is, after going this year, I would go every single year for the rest of my life if I could. It just is like the best experience. Whether you're a diamond and above or you're a brand new coach, it is fantastic. So much information, so many friendships, so much opportunity presents itself when you're at Summit. And it's in New Orleans next year, so that's cool. And you have a whole year to plan for it. Buy your ticket, make sure, buy the transferable one so that you're not stuck with it if you decide you don't want to go. Give yourself that security that you can transfer it if you need to. But I don't think it's sold out yet, which is actually kind of mind-blowing. I think it's sold out in 24 hours last year. And I was on the wait list forever, actually, until April of this year. And you don't want to do that. That sucks, because next year you might be like, I have this big team and I don't have a ticket to Summit. And you might be really pissed, and then you're trying to figure out how you can go. I would get your ticket and just get a transferable one. And that way, if you decide you can't go or you don't want to go, you can just transfer it to somebody. But I would definitely reserve that. And then a lot of people reserve their hotels and stuff already, which is awesome. I did mine last minute. You can kind of message in the team pages, hey, I need a place to stay. There's people that have Airbnbs that are renting out huge houses, lots of beds, hotel rooms, stuff like that, where you can find somewhere to stay. So if you want to ahead of time plan it all, go for it, but you don't have to do that. But I would definitely get your ticket, even if you're not sure. I would go. I have bad news. I cannot go next year. I start my master's program this fall, and I will spend 12 weeks next summer abroad doing my field research. So I actually won't be in this country for Summit next year. And I'm really sad now that I've gone to this Summit, and it's so unbelievable. And everyone was like, oh, tickets went live, and everyone in the house bought their tickets. I was like, oh, like that sucks. Like, I want to go, and I want you guys all to go, and I want us all to meet. So that just means I'm going to have to hold a retreat. And so I'm going to, by the end of this year, hopefully try and plan a retreat for next spring for everybody that gets to Diamond. So that's my goal. But I also need to grow my business to be able to afford something like that. So that is hopefully something in the future, but I will not be at Summit next year. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go. You guys can all meet each other and meet Fit and Fierce, and it's totally worth it for your business, especially when you guys have teams. By next year, you guys could have some serious team coaches underneath you, and you're going to want them to go. And you guys are all going to want to meet together. Think of the bigger picture. Okay, I've talked about Summit for a long time. Okay, that's good. Good. Summit was awesome. I want to talk now about our current challenge group. It's going great. We only have a few people in there that are actually challengers. It's not a very big group, but the content's been fantastic. We have really kind of fallen off of the outline, but that's okay. We wanted the outline to be, a little bit more solid so that we could just easily every day know exactly what we're posting and who's posting. But I think if we all just communicate and continue to do it the way we're doing it, this challenge group is going to continue to go really well. We had a couple of people share their whys tonight. Thank you, Anella. That was fantastic. I know my challenger that's in there is loving it, and I think she's going to sign up as a coach. I mean, we don't need 100 challengers to run a good challenge group. We just don't. But, you know, I want everybody to have at least 1 or 2 people in there so that you don't feel like you're working for nothing. So current challenge group is going great. Let's just continue to communicate about who's posting. I'll look back on the outline, see if anyone's scheduled for tomorrow. So I'll do that after this. Number 3, sneak peek to coaching. I am going to be running, I think you know this, a sneak peek to coaching group this Thursday and Friday. I've done these before. Sometimes they're super successful. Sometimes they're not. It depends on the person, whether they really like watching live videos throughout the day or not. But I'm going to do it. I'm only doing 2 days instead of 3, so it's more condensed, and that way it's not super spread out. And I'm going to cover everything, a day in the life of a coach, like what we do, how to grow your business on social media, how to earn money. It's going to be basics. I mean, I'm not going to get into rank advancement and all that, because this is someone just trying to decide if they want to sign up. So you are free to add any coaching prospects to that group. The group is posted in our Changing Tides team page. So if you have anybody that you want to add to that group, please do. We are not like other, you guys know this, but we are not like other companies who just like mass add people to Facebook groups. So make sure to get their permission before adding them. I don't want to just be adding, hey, I think this person would like it, I'm just going to add them. No, let's talk to them, see if they're interested. If they are interested in learning more, go ahead and add them to the group or tell them to request to join the group, whatever you want to do. And let's get that, we want that filled up. We want that, you know, it doesn't have to be massive, but we want, you know, a few, hey, we want a few recruits each at least, because, I mean, we know how this works. You might talk to 100 people and 1 person signs up, right? That's just kind of how this works. So I don't want you guys to mass invite and make it impersonal, but definitely try and reach out to a lot of people tomorrow and Wednesday before it's Tuesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, before we start on Thursday. See if, you know, your friends, family, their friends, you know, post something on your page about it, and yeah, give them all the information they need to want to join that group, and I will be doing that. You guys don't have to answer this right now, but I would like 1 coach on our team each day to either go live or post a video. Doesn't have to go live, just a 1 to 2 minute video sharing their coaching story. You know, how you signed up, why you signed up, how it's gone so far, kind of thing. Really easy. I just don't want them to listen to me all day for 2 days. It'd be nice. I'm going to also ask a couple of friends of mine who are leaders in Team Fit and Fierce if they'll just come into my group in just quick 1 to 2 minute share your coaching story. So if you decide you want to do that, you can let me know. And I'm just going to schedule it, because I'm going to try and make a schedule so everybody knows when everyone's going live and what's happening, so they're not just like floating around the group. That's that. But I think the last thing I have is our next challenge group, which is going to be so cool because of the Beachbody health bet. Do you guys know, did you guys hear about or read about the health bet? So I'm going to say it for the recording purposes, but Beachbody is doing something called the health bet. And basically what it means is they're betting on you to complete the challenge group. They're betting on you to care about your health and fitness enough that you're going to actually complete the whole 30 days and be successful and see results. We're not just trying to sign people up and get successful points and leave them high and dry. We want them to start the challenge and finish the challenge. And so that's the point of this. And that's also why they put almost every single challenge pack on sale this month, which is just I don't even know how to tell people that. It's insane. And I don't want to come off salesy and be like, they're all on sale, but they're all on sale. They're all $140 almost, every single one. So that's cool. But the health bet starts at $1 million. And then for every single challenge pack sale in August, it adds another $5. And the cap is $3 million. $3 million. That just sounds like a lot of money, and I'm not sure how much that's going to be when we all equally distribute it, but it depends on how many people sign up. And so picture $3 million, and then we're running the challenge group on the Challenge Tracker app. Now, we've done this before, and I didn't love the Challenge Tracker app. No one really used it. Facebook was easier. You can go live in Facebook. So once again, I'm going to do both. I'm going to have our group in Facebook and in the Challenge Tracker app. And I know that's a lot, but we have a real reason for people to use the app this time, because all they need to do is every week log 3 workouts and 5 shakes for the whole week for 4 weeks, and they get an equal share in that $3 million pot. It could be $1 million, but it'll probably, I'm sure it'll reach at least 2 million with all like everyone selling challenge packs. And I mean, 500 people could actually complete it. This is open to customers and coaches, so we benefit from this. If we're running a challenge or we're in a challenge and we just do those things, we just log our workouts and our shakes, we also get an equal share in this pot. I mean, it's just all around pretty cool, whether we make $10, all of us, or $200. You're making money for getting healthy and working out and finishing your challenge. And hopefully people aren't just fake logging, they're actually logging the real stuff, and they're actually really seeing results. So I want to know of everybody, if you're watching this, who's running their own and who's running it with me. I want to know all this ahead of time because I want to make sure everyone knows how to run the Challenge Tracker app if you're running it yourself. A little bit of background about the app. You actually set it all up on your computer on a website. So it's very easy to manage. You create the challenge group. You can add everybody, I think, by email. I need to go back and look at it all again. But it's only one person can run it. So if you decide to pair up and do it together, there can really only be one coach running the app, which I think is a flaw. I really hope that they change that. But so that's why I want to know who's running it with me, which means I'll be the coach, and then I'll add you guys all to it, and who's going to try and run their own. I don't mind if you guys all run it with me. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think August is going to be a big month too, so we might have a big group. So that's fine. I'm also, if you're going to run it with me, I'm trying to think of a name. This is like my monthly struggle. I can never think of a freaking challenge group name. Like I just don't. I almost thought about just calling it the Health Bet Challenge, and I might just do that because at least that'll really exaggerate what it is. Like this is a big deal, and I want you guys to make sure that you're logging your stuff. So I'm thinking about, ooh, that was big lightning. I don't know if that showed up in the video. Trying to figure out a name. I knew my dog was gonna bark at the thunder. Jackson, it's okay. Jax. He's so upset. He hates the thunder. You want a treat? What? Okay. Well, that's kind of everything I wanted to cover. I was going to screen share my online office for anybody that had like specific questions about the online office or wanted me to show them anything. So since you guys are the only 2 on here, do you have anything in my online office that you want me to show you? I was thinking about showing you guys my elite qualification and showing you where we were and where we are now, but I don't need to do that. This is important to me because I want our team to be high up in the elite ranking really bad for you guys and for me. I want us to really be up there, and I don't even mean top 10. We were number 200 in February, which was like mind-blowing because I really created the team in January. February, we were top 200. Top 200 gets recognized. That's a big deal. We were number 200, so we were like just there. But we made it there, and that was amazing. And now we're number like 548, which is still pretty good in the grand scheme of things. There's like 400,000 plus teams, but not where I want to be. I really want to get us back in the top 200, like really bad by the end of the year. It doesn't even affect me unless I'm like a 5-star and I'm elite. Like financially, but I really just want to see us in that top 200 again because we did it easily. Just a few of us hitting Success Club every month, and then getting that volume and rank advancing. Like that was what was growing our team to high up in the ranks. Just kind of doing the daily disciplines. It wasn't like we were getting mass amounts of Success Club points or anything like that. It's just kind of hitting that mark every month, and that's how you grow as a team, and that's how everybody, how the team kind of like elevates in the rankings. And so I really want to get us back up there really bad. I need you guys to do that, obviously. That's the point of the team. That's why the team would be 200. It's not me. I can't get there without you guys. So if everybody hits Success Club, Anella, I don't even get elite points from you. Any of my 2014 coaches, I don't get elite points from, which is so sad. It's only, so for elite ranking and elite points, it's only the coaches that you signed up this year or the year before. So 2016, 2015 coaches for me, which is most of them except for Anella, keep hitting Success Club, but I just don't benefit it from it in elite points. Like it's not a big deal. But it is kind of funny. So like, think about it. Coaches like Megan, all of her 2014 coaches don't matter for elite points. So they keep it competitive. Every single year you have to continue to add and build and have your coaches hit Success Club and do all of these things and keep growing, because 2 years ago coaches, they don't count towards your elite points anymore. So anyway, do you guys have any questions for me before I go? I know I talked at you guys the whole time, and I'm sorry. I really didn't want to do that, but you guys are busy. Anella's on her lunch break, and you're buying a Harry Potter book. So it worked. Any questions? Comments? Anything? Okay. I'm going to stop recording, and I'll post this in our team page, and we'll just talk more together in the comment section of this video about the questions I asked, like challenge group name, if you're going to run it by yourself or with me, and all that. So have a good night, guys. See you later. I'm ending the meeting. End meeting.